In this video of the Dinky Dino, we're going to look at suspension, because I've got problems because these stick a lot. They're bouncing back at the moment because the body's not on. Once the body's on there, they just stay down and they lock, and they keep locking when not in use. So I'm going to see what I can do with them, but let's get the wheels off and get a shock off and have a look. Now, one of the pains with this is when you go online you cannot find out the size of the springs. It is a real nuisance, I will be truthful. But one of the curses is the diameter. They are really wide, and I don't know whether I can... There you go. These are Traxxas. They're off an Emax. They're too small. I've got these ones. What are these like? I don't know what they're off. Too small. So this is frustrating with me in the suspension, because like I said, I can't find out the size of them, and I've got nothing that fits, or nothing that is strong enough, because I'm not being funny. If these fit, these won't fit. But again, too soft. They're Thunder Tiger, I think these are. So I'm going to have to think of another solution. Like I said, I just cannot get anything to go on. You know, plus these are really tough. These I think would be way too tough, because these are like doing doing doing. So I'm going to try and think up of something to fix the issue, because if I went somewhere to try and find springs, if I could find them, it's a train fare, and like I said, I want to keep this to a budget, and I don't want to waste loads of money travelling that I might not get the springs. And the other issue is, look, oh, that's the rubber, but these shocks are not over great. So I'm going to have them apart and re-oil them, and I don't know, they just don't, that one's not too bad, but they keep sticking. But sometimes just changing the oil can make all the difference. You know, they are working, but let's try some thicker oil in them. I'll probably try the Tamiya yellow and see how that goes. Now, looking for a solution to the suspension problem being too weak, I found for these are axial springs where they have the dual springs. I don't know how hard they are, because they're either, well, brown or red. I can't tell the colour, but they're the ones I'm using. It's what I had, so this is only cost a bit of time and a few parts prototypes on the 3D printer. First I'll show the parts we designed. Now this is the first part which was designed, and what it's designed to do is to fit down inside, and then to allow the spring, I'll put the spring to sit on top at the bottom of the shock, and it's got a clearance hole through the middle. Then the other part sits up into the shock, and the spring goes up to that. So they're the two parts. They seem to work okay. Now the completed shock looks like this, and it is a lot stiffer, but I've only got a short travel because of the design of the vehicle. We've only got about 10mm of travel, and the thing is, the spring don't come in straight away. That's the weird thing, because there is a gap. I don't know if you can see it, but there is a gap between the spring. So it sits on it, and then that's cutting pretty fast. So that's the parts, and like I said, the other one is really simple. It's just two circles and well, three circles, two padded, and the other one goes all the way through. So let's get ready and put one of these shocks together. So here we go with the parts, and the way to go together, the top piece goes on first and just slides on. Then you fit the rubber silicone tube this is a bit of a sod to get on and get all the way up. So what I do is I wind the bottom on for a sec, pull it until it's to the top, and then take the bottom off again. Then next you fit the spring. There we go. And then once the spring is on, you fit the lower collar. And then you put the bottom, this is when you do put the bottom on. And then you grab your pliers and just wind it tight. And there you can go, you can see the inner spring, the sort of the secondary spring. But you don't push it down to release the rubber yet, there's a reason. Because what you've got to do is now put the spring on and pull everything up, and then the collar at the bottom just about slips into place. And then compress the shock to move the rubber, and the shock is done. And like I said, there's a lot more pressure to it now. So we'll see how these work. Right, the suspension's all fitted, and it seems really stiff, but once you test it, remember we've still got to add batteries, it does articulate. The front goes to just below, so I might raise the front up just a bit, because it's definitely got less clearance to the rear. Or I might just lower the rear by one. Might be easy. No, I can't lower the rear, it's got to go upwards, doesn't it? Well, we'll see how that goes, but you can see it now returns. It's got return in it, but the travel is very, very, very limited. But I've still got 3 fingers on the front, so that's not too bad. But like I said, you have to add suspension, because the ABS, where if you've run Lexan and ABS bodies, you know there is a lot more weight in the ABS, and this is a lot more ABS than a normal build, so you have to expect to up the suspension from a stock Lexan body chassis. But like I said, my method was using 4 little axial springs, made up some little 3D printed parts, so it's cost very little, just a little bit of filament, a little bit of electric and time to improve the suspension and stop the horrendous sag. And the shocks don't seem to be sticking now, and that was just changing the oil. I literally took out the crap oil which was in there, put in some axial 30 weight, and problem solved. So this is just the video on sorting just the suspension to go forwards, because I'm happy now. I haven't got to worry. I know it's stiff enough and there's plenty of travel.